welcome back for part 2 of the Hierophant Meadery series with my special guest, Mark Zamron, and we're tasting 2 more of Hierophant's meads today. If you missed part 1, then go back and you can hear a little bit about Hierophant Meadery and see those 2 meads that we tasted. But today we have 2 more that these are wine-like meads, and they are both metheglins, like what Hierophant specializes in. So the first one we're going to taste is the Lemon Balm mead, and that clocks in at 12% ABV. And we have a little bit poured here already, so we're going to go ahead and comment on the appearance.
Yeah, I mean, you could hardly even tell we poured. It's so clear and light colored. And in fact, when we don't always translate the honey colors that they use into the mead too, but you know, if you use like a water white descriptor, I think that's pretty appropriate for this one. It's such a light, or maybe a very, very light straw color, but nearly brilliant in the fact that you can see right through it. Again, with great reflectance and a meniscus that's uniform, with legs that you can perceive when you swirl the glass. Again, they recede kind of at a medium rate, but it settles, and it's a still mead, meaning there's no carbonation, no bubbles to be perceived at all. So we move along to how it hits the nose, and I think that I get again some lilac floral honey character to it. Very light alcohol.
I myself get a little bit of a white grape, like I was telling you before, but when you say lilac, I can definitely get that now.
And that's really about it. There's no harshness to it. The alcohol is just an inviting thing that I get it when I take a deep breath in through my nose. It just kind of hits the back of the nasopharynx here, and I get a bit of again, some warmth that I can expect when I actually taste it. The honey character is a little more pronounced in this mead too. It has again that floral characteristic to it. There's a light pepperiness to it too. It certainly has as really a stronger supportive note the lemon character, and a sort of a light tannin at the end. It's finishes kind of off dry. There's just enough tannin, I think, to kind of support that that honey sweetness that's present.
So being that it's lemon balm, of course there should be some lemon type flavor there, but for not everyone who's familiar with lemon balm is an herb that I grow. So you know, if you grab some leaves and you crush them lightly in your fingers and you smell, you get that lemon candy type of lemon smell, and it's reminiscent of lemon heads for those of you who've had it. We're not getting that here, but definitely getting some lemon.
Yeah, I think it's very harmonious with the honey type, and the degree of sweetness, the amount of tannin you probably get from that lemon balm, and the citrusy acidity all play well together. It's a well balanced mead. So yeah,
it's delicious. It's very pleasant to look at in your glass. Something that you know, if you're into herbs and you like lemon, this is something you're gonna like. It's so they talk about it also being a gold medal winner. So this was a gold medal winner and Best in Show, Best Mead at the Northwest Wine Summit competition, which we don't know what those competitions are because it's the other side of the country for us, but double gold medal at the Seattle Wine Awards. in 2017. So this mead definitely has a good solid reputation as being a high quality mead. Yeah, so it's a winner at competitions in the Pacific Northwest. So it definitely has a reputation for being a high quality mead, which is what we're all about tasting and promoting here. So you have anything else to say about
No,
this?
I think that this one here has a little bit more honey character, but the background lemon balm is interesting. It certainly does play a role both in support of tannins and acidity. So it's a well balanced mead. Again, I think this is enjoyable to just kind of sip slowly. Maybe even during the winter months, and we've had a long winter here in Buffalo. But it would be nice to sit in front of a fireplace and drink this slowly. So very enjoyable.
Agreed. All right, so we're gonna just take a quick break, and then we'll come back and we're gonna taste our next mead. All right, and we're back, and this time we're having the Lavender Citrus mead from Hierophant, and again, this is a wine-like mead, 12% ABV, and why don't we go ahead and take a look at it?
Yeah, this one's a little bit darker, of a I would say maybe a very light yellow, darker straw color. Again, very clear. It has appearance of being a still. There are very few bubbles, I think, just attributed to the pour. With an excellent reflectance, it has some legs to it on a swirl. Again, a very inviting mead. And then the aroma, you get it's very much like an orange blossom honey character, and I'm not sure if it actually derives from the honey, but it's advertised as having citrus, so perhaps it's coming from that, but it's fairly strong. I think you earlier had mentioned it had like a perfumey character to it.
Yep.
It certainly does, and I don't know again if it's mixing. It's almost like an orange blossom, like when you drive through Georgia or Florida, kind of orange blossom type smell, like you get just from the air when you're driving down in Florida.
Yeah, and I would guess that the perfumey definitely can come from the lavender for sure, because lavender has that kind of aromatic to it.
Right. This one has a good degree of sweetness up front. Again, a lot of it's probably honey derived. I would characterize it again as citrusy. There is a hint of bitterness, and that may be in part from lavender at the end, and it actually balances nicely with the perceived sweetness. I think it finishes slightly sweet. It's not. It's certainly not bone dry or even dry or slightly dry. It's I think slightly sweet, and that may be some of the orange or citrus component making my brain say it's a little sweet. Just
well, they even describe it off the website as light, bright, and floral. This mead exhibits the faintest touch of sweetness, which brings out floral lavender paired with 2 types of citrus zest. And I agree with you, definitely sweeter than the ones we've had already, and it definitely does bring out that floral lavender. I definitely can taste lavender. It doesn't punch you in the face, but it's definitely there.
Yeah,
it's present.
And it has a gentle warming alcohol to it too, and that's evident along with some acidity, a little bit of bitterness, and the sweetness. And I think that brings it into balance with it favors a little bit of the sweetness, and I think still. When we talk about balance of a mead, we're looking at sweetness, acidity, and tannins primarily. And I think this one leans a bit towards sweet, which is very pleasant. And it's sort of like the sweetness you get when you know you're going to bite an orange slice. So.
Yeah, it's very enjoyable. Also, again, pleasant to look at, which this is a reoccurring theme with their meads. Beautiful to look at in the glass, and delicious to taste, well balanced, no flaws that we're not scoring this mead, but we're just enjoying it, and so it's something that, again, would definitely purchase and recommend. So.
Yeah, we were talking a little off camera whether they filtered their meads, or if they just used another fining method to really get all the haze out, all of the particulates out of their meads, because they're all very pretty. So.
And that is a question for the mead maker on the podcast interview that I hope to be getting from them not too far from now.
Great.
So,
cool.
Yeah. All right. So thanks for joining us for part 2 of the Hierophant Meadery series of tastings that we have. And look for part 3. We have 2 more to come for a total of 6. And thanks again for joining us. And until next time, cheers.
Cheers.